So it actually looks like this girl's a little bit more defensive than the last girl, even though she just laid. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this clutch. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more of what it's like to pull a clutch with a little bit more of a defensive snake. What's up guys, welcome back to another video by Upscale X-otics. I'm Tristan from Upscale X-otics. We're gonna do a quick impromptu video because I was working today and I just realized we have a few clutches. And I actually get this question all the time, especially right now because a bunch of snakes are laying eggs. And that question is, my snake just laid eggs, what do I do? So in this video, we're gonna answer that. What do you do when your snake lays eggs? So I get this question asked all the time. You've probably bred your snake for a few months now, and finally the day has come where your female lays eggs. And it's could be one of the most exciting and one of the most terrifying things you could ever see, because especially if it's your very first time, there's a lot of pressure, you know, there's potential life right in front of you, and you want to make sure that you do everything right. Now I'm going to make a video in the future talking about specifically incubation, but today I'm going to be talking about pulling a clutch and what to do with your female right after she lays. So let's get right into that. So the time has come to pull that clutch, and if it's your first time, maybe you're thinking, man, I'm afraid to get bit. I've seen those videos on Instagram of people pulling a clutch of snake eggs, and I don't know where, you know, you get that big old strike right at that person's face. Luckily today we're going to be talking specifically about pulling ball python clutches, which tend to be one of the more docile species and one of the easier species to collect eggs from. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes you do get a really fierce mama, but for the most part it's going to be pretty simple, pretty quick and painless for you and for the snake. The one thing to take into consideration is how long ago did that female lay her eggs. Now if she laid them let's say a few days ago, then by now she's had enough time to recover and she's going to be alert and she's going to be defending those eggs. But if she just laid them, let's say a few hours ago, chances are she has not had time to recover, and she put so much energy into laying and passing those eggs that it's going to be fairly easy to just open it up, pull the eggs out, and clean her tub and stuff like that. She's not going to put up much of a fight. Now this first clutch that we're going to pull, she has laid, I would say, about a day and a half ago. So chances are she's going to be very, very alert, and I'm going to show you guys how to deal with most likely a little bit of a more aggressive, or I should say defensive snake, right? Let's get to that. Alright guys, so here we are. We have our female here. She's wrapped around, I don't know how many eggs. I would say maybe like 4 or 5 egg clutch. Kind of an average size clutch. But she did lay about a day and a half ago, so she should be a little bit more aware. So I know if she can, she might bite me. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to obviously find her head. I don't want to get bit, and at the same time, there's eggs there. There's valuable eggs, and I'm not just talking monetarily. There's life right there. So we want to make sure that they don't roll or anything like that, or get squished or pushed around. So we want to find the head, and right now I can tell her head is just right in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I don't put my fingers in front of her face, but start pulling away. And you can see she's right there. She's coiling up. I'm just going to go ahead and slowly remove her from the eggs. And I don't try to take the eggs one by one. I physically, as I just did right there, I remove the eggs. And right here we can see we have a beautiful clutch of 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs. Now if you're wondering what the pairing is, that is an Enchi bred to super shatter. So I want to make some shatter Enchi. Shatter is not a very, very common gene, but I really dig it, and I really want to start putting it into clowns. So I'm going to make some females, and you know how it goes from there. So let's go ahead and take a look at these eggs. We're going to go ahead and put these guys away. And again, if you want to learn more about incubation, I'll make a video. Probably my next video will be about incubation. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and put them in our box. I'm not going to candle them in this video, again in the next video. But the next thing you want to do after your female lays eggs is you want to make sure that she's okay, right? Your number one priority should always be the safety and the well-being of your animal. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure she's not egg-bound. Right? Egg-bound means that she has eggs that she just couldn't pass because she didn't have the energy to, or the strength, or maybe the egg was too big. And there's a few other reasons why females might get egg-bound, but as you can see, she's not too happy with me right now, but that's okay. But we want to make sure she's not egg-bound. So by doing that, we're just going to go ahead and make her stretch out. We're going to run our fingers inside her belly. She should feel very empty. She feels extremely empty. It's such a weird feeling every time I do this. It feels like there's like when you deflate an animal balloon or something like that. But there we go. And she's very stressed out. This is not a happy situation for her. But obviously, as soon as you clean the enclosure, she will forget about the eggs. Right now, the smell is the #1 thing that is still keeping her kind of a little bit agitated and defensive. So what we're going to do after this is we're going to go ahead and clean the tub completely and then put her away, and then she's going to be ready to start eating. If she still smells the eggs inside of her enclosure, she will not eat, usually for a very, very long time. At some point she will, but if she still has the smell of the eggs in the enclosure, she's going to stay stressed out and not want to eat for you. So make sure you do that as soon as you pull the clutch. Alright guys, so it actually looks like this girl's a little bit more defensive than the last girl, even though she just laid. So we're going to go ahead and pull this clutch. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of what it's like to pull a clutch with a little bit more of a defensive snake. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. As you can tell, she is not happy with me right now. So one thing that you want to do is I like to grab something. Maybe usually I use the lid of my tub that I'm going to put the eggs in. And what I do is I'm just going to grab her attention, right? And with the lid, I'm just going to slowly kind of guide her off of the eggs. And again, I don't want her to roll the eggs or anything like that. And then from here, we can start taking her off the eggs. She's not very happy. That's okay, I'm sorry. Put her right there. And sometimes what I even like to do is I like to cover them. If I cover them, they feel a little bit more safe, a little bit more secure. And as you can see right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs. As you can see right there, we got a beautiful clutch of eggs. And if you're curious as to what this pairing is, this is a double het Ultramel pie bred to an Ultramel pie. Alright guys, so there we have it. If I didn't answer any of your questions about pulling a clutch, please feel free to DM me. Go ahead, check us out on Instagram. But I think I covered most of it. #1, you want to make sure that that female is safe. #2, you want to make sure that the eggs don't get rolled, that don't get harmed, squished, dropped, anything like that. And #3, you want to make sure you don't get bit. Again, we're going to do a more in-depth video about incubation, about, substrate types of incubators and things like that. We'll be doing that next. But if you guys have any other questions about pulling a clutch of eggs, please let me know. We have one more clutch to pull, but I'm going to do that one on Instagram Live. So make sure to check us out on Instagram, on TikTok, and all that good stuff. Until the next time, I love you guys. Take care.